Hello everyone, today in this video we'll fight against the atmosphere of our world around us, and things are happening as people like me, many others, even many much wiser than me, were saying from the very beginning that there is no chances for Ukraine to win this war. There is no chances even to be on the equal terms with Russia because of demography, because of resources, because of equipment, because of the officers who are leading the armies, and. I want to tell you, if not support from the West, of course, with the exception of Poland, given with heavy credits for this equipment, if not Western military equipment support, Ukraine would fall within 2-3 weeks, in my opinion, completely. And the only result for the last now 3 years and 9 months is that many people got killed, many people emigrated, country got ruined, and many countries like Poland ruined their budget supporting dying Ukraine. And now the comic president, Mr. Zelensky, really deplorable figure and actually clown, Skype warrior, now is not wanted anymore, not needed anymore, and it was also easy to be predicted, because I know propaganda can do a lot. Propaganda can fool many people for long, but propaganda, if something really is not happening for real, cannot change the reality, and the reality was always against the Ukrainian victory and even against the Ukrainian survival. And we got 28 points announced by current Republican President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump, and these 28 points clearly resemble the situation on the front line, that the front line is breaking and Ukraine has no more human potential to stop it, and Western powers, especially US, do not want to pay for it. And here we see how Western powers, especially France and UK, fooled Zelensky and his cabinet, promising some guarantees and promising help if he continues war with Russia. We Polish people and people from our region should realize, especially from the first half of 20th century, what's the word of British and French guarantees of peace or guarantees of help. Unfortunately, the memory of many people is short, and for short memory, very often one pays with blood and incredible costs. And now we see that it happened what had to happen, and Ukraine will now officially lose the territories that Russia occupies, plus a little bit more, and this Quasimodo, this little monster that would stay really dominated by aggressive population fueled with integral nationalism of Dmitry Dontsev and later Bandera ideology that originated from Dontsev ideology. This aggressive mob will have a country, this what will be left after Ukraine, that would be pushed into European Union because Russia and the United States decided. Why do they want to push this country into European Union, but they do not want to take it into NATO? Because someone needs to pay for this aggressive Quasimodo that will be created after partition of Ukraine. And unfortunately, I know that the country that would pay still the most for it will be Poland, and this, of course, Quasimodo creature will hate Poland the most, despite the fact Poland helped this country the most and was not even crediting Ukraine for this help. But somehow, to me, it was obvious the solution like this, and now we also see how France and England were humiliated by United States. They deserve it because they didn't invest in their land forces, so they didn't have really any leverage, any argument against Russia to negotiate and to press Russia. So it happened as it's always happening in such situations. when weaker ones cannot make a deal with themselves, after sometimes big one comes and big one makes an order. But big one, here we have two big ones, Russia and US, they are making an order which is in agreement with their own interests only. Why do they do that? Because they can. Because why do they can? Why can they do it? Because they are the big ones. That's it, and nothing else. This is how politics works. Smartness, force, potential, and smart diplomacy, but first brutal force. Of course, if one is smart, one can negotiate better position. Instead of continuing this pointless war and promising a European army and actually giving opportunity to many European politicians now everywhere to steal money for allegedly the rearming programs for Europe, because Europe was really relying on US military forces for too long, not investing enough its own army, investing in social programs. Societies are degraded, flooded with useless migrants. Now European nations announced recently rearming program, but now there is no rearming. De facto it's only stealing money, and because of this, Americans know it, Americans can press them, and they will have to pay for this Quasimodo that will be left after Ukraine. And surprisingly, no NATO, but take it to the European Union and pay for it. Somehow I'm not surprised of this solution, and this is always like this. When young ones cannot make when small ones cannot make a deal, after some time big ones comes, and big ones who come are getting angry, and they are making deals which are in agreement with their own interest. It was always like this. European powers like England, France, Germany had opportunity to fix this conflict at its beginning. They didn't want to. They promised to clown Zelensky more and more, and now they are simply withdrawing from anything, and the big ones like US, Russia are making a deal, and the ones who are smarter, so I think England, France and Germany will still get something from this deal, but naive ones like Poland will still pay for the remaining Ukrainian leftovers, aggressive state, Banderist state that will be formed. What an irony of history, and what a sad solution. This is the problem that many people were warning that we shouldn't get involved so much into this, that it would stay and that it would end up exactly as now it's ending up, and we have to remember that it's not main front for United States. They have other things to deal with, and they just simply want to make a deal, finish it, and just focus on other problems they have to deal with. And they cannot be present everywhere. No one can. All the best. Have a nice day. Bye.